just left Matthewtown here in the Bahamas, and this is that was my last time in the Bahamas for a while. Damien is here sailing with me on his vessel, and we are trying to get to Turks and Caicos. We got a long ways to go, and the wind is blowing, I think 15 to 17, and seas are not too large, but they're very short period, so it's pretty bumpy. We've got second reef here on the main. We're gonna be cooking along. I think we're gonna try to go maybe 20 some miles offshore in this tack, and then Turks is gonna be off upwind here another like 100 miles. So it'll be like a day or two of sailing, and it's gonna be rough, especially without the autopilot going. So fun to have someone following along now. And yeah, I'm just gonna try to focus on the boat, keep her from crashing into a wave, and talk to you later. It's the 2 p.m. update. Not much ground has been made upwind. We've traveled a lot of miles, but we're tacking against the wind. I didn't fill you in on this earlier, but I think we are technically on the Thorny passage now, which is the route from the Bahamas to Puerto Rico, and that's because it's called that because we're fighting the trade winds, and we are also out in technically the Atlantic, and so it's unprotected from islands. So the swells are a little bigger, the waves a little rougher, as you've probably seen. And we've been getting beaten up today, I'll tell you that. I've had some pretty big waves. But anyways, one thing, there is now a small tear in the main. I don't know if you can see up there, right above the top batten. It's about maybe a foot long, but it's stopped at the stitching. And it's been like that for a few hours now. I'm watching it. It didn't seem to be getting any bigger. So that'll be something we're gonna have to take down and patch. And of course the autopilots, I've been trying not to use it since I 3D printed the gears, so it just uses this piece of rope to hold the wheel. And with the way the sails are set, she's pretty much driving herself. I just can't really fall asleep. I gotta stay awake and look at it. But I've lost sight of Damien. We were going to check in every 2 hours, and it's 2 o'clock now. So we're checking in on the odd hours, or the even hour. I haven't heard from him in a couple minutes, so the little one, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. He's decided to go off a lot further than I was going, but he also said he was going to take a nap, but that was like 2 hours ago, so we'll see. I'm going to try him again here soon, and other than that, just bobbing away out here. 6:30 update. These waves have been non-stop. I think just about every single porthole on this boat is leaking now. The cushions are soaked, the floors are soaked. Yeah, but we're still cooking along. 6.5 knots. Still no word from Damien, but Eva reached out and said that she thinks he turns his Starlink off for a long time, so it should be okay. Going to eventually do another tack and start heading up to Turks. It's yeah, it's all good. Ain't got much else to say. I really hadn't been doing a whole lot today, just sitting here. Haven't been eating much, which is my problem. It's difficult to cook while underway, so canned baked beans, cold for dinner. Wasn't all that great, and eventually I'll try to get some sleep. The problem is, it's not comfortable to sleep down below because I don't have a leak cloth. And then it's sleeping out here, all the cushions are soaked. Everything's soaked. I'm soaked. Like I said, with all these waves, we're hitting them hard and they're flying up over the boat, so I will try to sleep somehow, and touch base with you later. Got absolutely drenched. So I got absolutely drenched a second time. I had to go change and decided just to hove to for a second because it was getting to me, all the waves, and I was like, I need to make some dinner. So got that, we're gonna eat that real quick and try to get this thing reset and we'll be sailing all through the night, so. Good morning from the Thorny Passage. It has been a rough night. I got quite a bit of naps, and I'll tell you that. I've been able to get the sails just about balanced where she's sailing herself. But I woke up to a WhatsApp call from Damien, and he just had his mainsail rip on him. And we are, when you're pointed upwind, you really need both your sails to really get as much upwind as you can. And so he is kind of wounded right now, his boat is. And he's 35 miles behind me too, so something happened through the night. I was able to make a lot of ground, but I told him I'm pretty sure I have a spare mainsail, the old one for Rambler, down below in the aft berth. And I told him if he's willing to motor sail up here, I think Little Anagua is 20 miles from me. I can tuck in behind there. I think there's an Anchorage, and I told him that way we're not losing all the ground we made. We will see if we can, I think we have very similar riggings, and we can get that sail set up on him, get him up to Turks and Caicos. And he said he was planning on buying a new mainsail eventually anyways, because his was needing it, so then we could maybe get something ordered there or in Luperon. But the seas always win, I'll tell you that one. You can fight as much as you want, but if she wants to win, she's gonna win. And she was beating me up last night. When I tell you everything inside is soaked, it is soaked. And just part of the fun, But I'm gonna get woken up here. Sea states are still pretty rough, and start researching. There's 2 anchorages over there, see which one's gonna be the best for some repairs. I will let you know what I figure out. Don't think you can see it, but Damien just dropped anchor here. I've been here, shoot, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours now. But I have to now clean out the back berth. And unfortunately, my spare mainsail, I think, is in the very back corner under all of this junk. So I'm gonna get to work moving this, and I think he can, even if it's not the same size, he should be able to reef the sail there on his mast and boom and make it work just fine. Alright, so it really wasn't back there as bad as I thought it was, but I believe this is the old mainsail. I've never actually pulled it out. She doesn't look the prettiest, and I don't think it has any battens, but hopefully it will work for Damien. Making it in the video. So just left the mainsail over there with Damien. He's got to get all the little feet that ride in the rail up here transferred over, and I got my own projects to work on, so I told him good luck with that. I'll come back and check on them. But this is my tear that's developed in the main. It's about 8 inches from stitching to stitching here, and thankfully I still have plenty of this sail tape from Damien and Eva, so I'm going to get this cut up and we'll try to patch this guy up. I think it should be no problemo. And then I also developed a little one on the foot of the jib as well. So pretty rough weather. It's windy here. I don't know if you can tell in the Anchorage. She's roaring, but luckily it's pretty calm. We're hoping we can get everything fixed and head out in the morning again. Fingers crossed. All right, main patch is on. It's pretty much a giant band-aid. You stick it on around the corner so they don't peel up, and put one on both sides of the sail. So hopefully I got that on well enough. I'm going to get this tied down and then we'll unfurl the jib. And like I said, there's one on, I think you call it the tack, the very bottom that's attached to the furler. Just a tiny hole. Let's start in there. I got the patches ready. Folded over like duct tape, so it's too sticky. I can't repair. I'm gonna have to go cut a new one real quick. So both sails are patched up again. Gonna tidy up some, and I'm gonna try to cook some food ahead of time because I don't have a way to cook while underway really. Even the microwave when you're heeled over that much is no good. So probably gonna make up some spaghetti, toss that in the fridge. And then we'll run back over and check on Damien, see how that mainsail's going. Good morning. It was a great night's sleep here, much needed. I've got the mainsail up, anchor up, and I got her fully reefed. You can see our little patch up there doing good work. Damien's just getting his sail all prepped to be reefed, and then I think he's pulling anchor up soon. We are taking off to Turks supposedly today. We'll see if we make it there, but I think it's only going to be 8 hours. We should be going pretty fast. It's gonna be rough again. I'll show you something else I've done. I had a ton of water coming in through just a few hatches in particular, and one of them, one of the bolts that holds it down broke. So what I have done, it's pretty jerry-rigged, but you can see I've taped plastic wrap, and it's not like food plastic wrap, it's like actual thick, but I taped it over the hatches that leak. This one's just a little bit, just a little bit. Those two are quite a lot though. And so it's a temporary fix. Hopefully it works, just to keep the bulk of the water out from messing up my cushions and floor. And then someday we'll figure out how to actually properly fix those. But yeah, other than that, everything's looking good. Like I said, we're just waiting on Damien to get his anchor up. And then there'll just be another long, I think it's been pretty bumpy day too, so wish me luck. I'm sailing through right now what is called Deadman's Bay. Kind of spooky, but if you're seeing this, that means we survived. Well, we're still cooking along here and going 5 to 6 knots. It is 1 o'clock now. I've lost sight of Damien. We both have very different sailing techniques. I don't know what you want to say. We kind of doing different things, but it's going good. Pretty choppy. There's not much else going on, so I thought I'd take the time to answer a few questions that I've been getting lately. First off, I've been seeing a lot of comments, people saying I need to wear my life jacket, and they think I need to be tethered in. So if you don't know, this is my life jacket. I'm usually wearing it, and it has a tether on it, and I'm usually clipped in as well. So I think it's hard to see on the videos sometimes. I've had a lot of people very worried, and I'm most of the time clipped in, so nothing to worry about there. And second, I've been getting a lot of comments lately, people thinking I'm depressed, on drugs, all sorts of fun things. And I know my mood has definitely shifted the past couple weeks, and that is mostly because, well, my family did visit, and in them leaving, I do realize it is very, very alone out here. There's hardly even people in the towns that are this far out, and so that's definitely getting to me a little bit. But also keep in mind, I am on a boat with no air conditioning, showering once a week, microwaving my food and eating canned beans. So it's not like it's all sunshine and rainbows all the time. So I'm still enjoying it. I might look a little beaten up and shriveled, and that's because I kind of am out here. It's like I said, it's not easy per se, but it's still fun. I'm still enjoying it. So cut me a little bit of slack there. I am planning on taking a month off here soon to go back and spend with family back in Missouri, and then I'll be able to recoup and then come back. And I think I'm trying to ride out hurricanes in Puerto Rico this year. That's kind of the rough plan, and maybe get a part-time job as well, just to save up some more for some projects I'd like to do, as well as meet some people and get to know the area again. So that'll be nice. But it has been like 3 or 4 months now of non-stop sailing, and although I'm taking it easy in the Bahamas, those things add up. So I'm okay, don't worry about me. I know I look a little, like I said, a little beaten up, but that's just part of the nature of sailing out here. It's quite the challenge. I don't think you can see it, but here on my lifeline I've got a little seagull hanging out. There's the bright moon out tonight. It's beautiful. It's 10:30 here. I was able to get in one nap, but I think I'm about 4 miles from whatever island I'm going to. I don't remember. And so I'm going to try to tack. I think I should be able to make it there in about an hour. And there's supposedly all along this leeward side of the island is a bunch of mooring walls that dive boats use. Because it's about 50 foot right up until the shore, which is a bit deep for using the anchor. So I'm going to see if I can find one of those in the dark and get tied up for the night. And then hopefully Damien will make it, and we can in the morning head over to Providencial or whatever it's called, and get checked in with customs. But it's going well. I think you saw my friend, the little bird. I was able to coax him and let me pick him up. Other than that, just sitting around killing time. on, baby. Not gonna make it on this one, I don't think. Well, maybe. Come on. Missed it. Oh, she's still on, barely. That's impressive right there. I don't know if it's gonna last. Need to get this thing clasped down. If I go very carefully, maybe I can get it. It just pulls so much. We made it, guys. We made it. On the mooring. Let's back down on it, make sure she's strong. Check my rope up. Okay, so I've got the engine. I'm gonna put it in full reverse, and that's just to test the mooring to make sure it's strong, kind of like the anchor. So I'd hate to wake up attached to a mooring but drifted a couple miles out to sea. 0.2 is normal. I'm feeling, I'm feeling electricity coming through the steering column. Like I'm getting shocked in my wrist right now, so something's up with that. But yeah, that looks good. That's crazy. All right, we made it. Took us long enough. I'm going to pick up a few things and go sleep for 2 days. I'll see you then. All right, it's the morning. Got my sleep in, and Damien had texted me last night and said he decided to go on to the main town in Turks. I'm just on some uninhabited island on a mooring bowl, so frying up some French toast for breakfast, and then we're gonna get off this ball and head that way. I think it's still, I mean, there's a route you can take that's only like 15 miles to get there, but you gotta motor through all these coral heads, and my motor going into the wind ain't gonna be worth anything, so I'm gonna have to sail the long way. I think it's another 30 miles, which could be like 8 hours, so it's gonna be a long one, not to go very far, but that's the way it is. Like I said, so we'll get some food in us and then get off the ball here. So Damien just sent me a message on WhatsApp and said whenever he entered Turks waters, the Coast Guard or military, whatever they've got here, hailed him on the radio and asked him a bunch of questions. So I pulled up Noon Site, which is a website that gives you like the rundown for all the customs and entry and all that stuff for all the countries down here. And according to them, they also are saying that whenever you come within 12 miles of Turks waters, that the government has a radar surveillance and they'll message you on VHF or you message them. I wasn't quite aware of this, and I usually keep my radio off because I can't hear it up there behind the helm anyways. So I'm going to attempt to hail them, see what kind of questions they got for me, and that way they don't hate me whenever I pull into the Anchorage tonight. Provo Radio, this is Sailing Vessel Rambler on channel 16. Provo Radio, this is Sailing Vessel Rambler on channel 16. Well, I'm not hearing a response, so either my radio's not working or they're not listening, one or the other, but we tried, and I've already done the Sail Clear Customs website, so I'm just gonna try to come in there and hopefully they have a prison cell ready for me. If y'all can see this, we're going from the shift of a couple thousand feet of water all the way over to here, more green teal color, like 16 feet of water. It's gonna get pretty shallow, and looking at the charts, there's quite a bit of bommies, like coral heads and stuff across here. So we're gonna have to keep a close eye and not to run aground. I think we got about 10 nautical miles over the flats before we make it to the town of Providencials or whatever, Providencials, whatever the heck they call it. Welcome to the Turks and Caicos. We finally made it. I got my quarantine flag hoisted up and gonna go down below, give Damien a call and see how customs is going and see if they're gonna hang around late enough I can get checked in too. But that's gonna wrap it up here for this week's video. Appreciate you tuning in. It was a rough one. We got beat up out here in the ocean, had the sail blowouts, water coming in the boat. We learned a lot, things went well. And in next week's video, we'll get to be exploring here in the Turks and Caicos. So be sure to tune in for that. Big thanks to all the Patreon subscribers for all of your help on the adventure. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in next week's video.